Welcome to today's lecture on pulmonary function tests. Pulmonary function testing is an essential diagnostic tool used to evaluate how well the lungs are working. These tests help us measure lung volumes, airflow, and gas exchange capacity. They are crucial for diagnosing respiratory diseases, distinguishing obstructive from restrictive lung disorders, assessing disease severity, and monitoring treatment response. In this lecture, we will explore the principles, types, interpretation, and clinical applications of pulmonary function testing. Introduction to pulmonary function tests. Pulmonary function tests are a group of non-invasive investigations that measure how effectively the lungs function. These tests evaluate several aspects of respiratory physiology, including lung volumes, airflow rates, and gas diffusion across the alveolar membrane. Clinically, PFTs are used to diagnose respiratory diseases, differentiate obstructive and restrictive lung disorders, monitor disease progression, and assess a patient's respiratory fitness before major surgery. Components of pulmonary function tests. Pulmonary function testing includes several different measurements. Spirometry is the most commonly used test and measures airflow during inhalation and exhalation. Lung volume tests determine the total amount of air the lungs can hold. Diffusion capacity tests evaluate how well oxygen moves from the lungs into the bloodstream. Peak expiratory flow rate assesses maximum airflow during forced expiration. Finally, arterial blood gas analysis provides information about oxygenation and carbon dioxide levels in the blood. Spirometry. Spirometry is the most fundamental pulmonary function test. It measures the volume of air a patient can inhale and exhale, as well as the speed of airflow. Three important spirometric parameters include forced vital capacity, which represents the total amount of air exhaled during a forced breath. FEV1 represents the volume exhaled during the first second of forced expiration. The FEV1 to FVC ratio is particularly useful for distinguishing between obstructive and restrictive lung diseases. Lung volumes. Lung volume measurements help us understand the capacity of the respiratory system. Tidal volume refers to the amount of air inhaled or exhaled during normal breathing. Inspiratory reserve volume represents the additional air that can be inhaled after a normal breath. Expiratory reserve volume is the additional air that can be exhaled after normal expiration. Residual volume is the air that remains in the lungs after maximal exhalation, preventing lung collapse. Lung capacities. Lung capacities are combinations of two or more lung volumes. Vital capacity represents the maximum amount of air that can be exhaled after maximum inhalation. Total lung capacity is the total volume of air present in the lungs after a maximal inspiration. Functional residual capacity represents the volume remaining in the lungs after normal expiration. Inspiratory capacity is the maximum air that can be inhaled after a normal exhalation. Diffusion capacity, DLCO. Diffusion capacity tests measure how efficiently gases pass from the alveoli into the bloodstream. This is typically assessed using carbon monoxide because it binds strongly to hemoglobin. A reduced diffusion capacity may indicate diseases affecting the alveolar membrane such as pulmonary fibrosis, emphysema, or pulmonary vascular disorders. Obstructive lung disease pattern. In obstructive lung diseases, airflow is limited due to narrowing or obstruction of the airways. Common examples include asthma, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, chronic bronchitis, and emphysema. Pulmonary function tests typically show a reduced FEV1 and a reduced FEV1 to FVC ratio due to difficulty exhaling air rapidly. Restrictive lung disease pattern. In restrictive lung diseases, the lungs cannot expand fully, resulting in reduced lung volumes. Examples include pulmonary fibrosis, sarcoidosis, and certain neuromuscular or chest wall disorders. Pulmonary function tests typically show reduced total lung capacity and vital capacity, while the FEV1 to FVC ratio remains normal or even increased. Clinical uses of PFTS. Pulmonary function tests have several important clinical applications. They help diagnose respiratory diseases and determine whether the pathology is obstructive or restrictive. They are also used to monitor disease progression and evaluate response to treatment. Additionally, PFTS are important before major surgery to assess respiratory risk and are used in screening programs for occupational lung diseases. Limitations of PFTS. Despite their usefulness, pulmonary function tests have certain limitations. Accurate results require good patient cooperation and proper technique. In severely ill or unconscious patients, performing these tests may not be possible. Furthermore, while PFTS can identify functional abnormalities, they cannot determine the exact underlying disease without correlation with imaging and clinical findings. To summarize, pulmonary function tests are essential tools in respiratory medicine. They provide valuable information about lung mechanics, airflow, and gas exchange. Spirometry remains the most widely used test and plays a key role in diagnosing obstructive and restrictive lung diseases. When combined with clinical evaluation and imaging studies, PFTS greatly enhance our understanding of respiratory disorders. As we conclude this lecture, it is important to remember that pulmonary function tests play a vital role in understanding respiratory physiology and diagnosing lung diseases. They help clinicians differentiate between obstructive and restrictive disorders, evaluate disease severity, and guide appropriate treatment strategies. A clear understanding of these tests not only improves diagnostic accuracy but also enhances patient care in respiratory medicine. Thank you for your attention. I hope this session was helpful and informative. I would be happy to take any questions.